and welcome back to my channel. So as y'all can see by the title of this video, y'all already know what it is. Now I know when I always do my end of semester recaps, I'm always doing my makeup, but I tried to go ahead and film this already and I just had too much to say. I couldn't focus, so I just went ahead and did my makeup and we're trying this again. So like I said, I will be doing a separate video on my makeup because a lot of people ask me about my makeup, so I definitely want to do like an updated foundation routine because it is definitely changed. But enough about that. Like I said, let's get into this video. So if you don't know, I am Tiffany. This is my, this is my first semester in nursing school. I go to Tuskegee University, and this is just how my semester went. So I should get my iPad because I had questions. Sorry y'all, I am not prepared. I'm winging it. But yeah, so people ask me questions on Instagram as well, and I also wanted to just give y'all general information about my semester. So let me go to the questions first because they kind of go hand in hand. Okay, so one of the first questions I got was like, is it as challenging as everybody said? And I kind of wanted to start off with that because I feel like nursing school, anything in the medical field, gets a bad rep. So like I said, background on me personally, I came out of high school as a CNA, which is a certified nursing assistant, meaning that I was certified to take care of patients on my own in a different form of fashion. So if you're not familiar with nursing, it's CNA, RN, which is, bachelor's, and then you can go get your master's, get your doctorate, be a nurse practitioner, nurse anesthetist, it just goes up in ranks. So basically what I tell CNAs, what I tell people a CNA is certified to do, they're certified to like do the basic care, like cleaning, bathing, feeding, all of that. So I kind of went into nursing school with a lot of background, not a lot of background, but some background about what I was getting myself into. So I like when people tell me like, is nursing school challenging? This first semester for me was not challenging because I came in as a CNA. I came in with some background. I came in with some knowledge of what I was getting myself into. So to tell you about the 5 classes I had Foundations of Nursing, Pharmacology 1, Health Assessments, Basic Skills, and Student Success in Nursing. So I'll kind of break down all those classes. So Foundations of Nursing is exactly what it says it is. Foundations, you learning the basics, you learning everything you need to know, those skills. Basically, I compared it to the CNA training on steroids. Basically, you learning bed baths, blood pressure, temperature, learn how to take the vital signs, basic things about nursing, like Foundations of Nursing, that's, as plain as it can get. Then pharmacology, our pharmacology and patho class was together. Patho is just an anatomy on steroids. That's 9 times out of 10 everybody's prereqs to get into nursing school. So that part of the pharmacology wasn't hard for me because again, it's just anatomy on steroids, and then you learning about those drugs. So in pharmacology, one of our chapters on our test could be the hematologic system, which is the blood system, and then the drugs that affect the hematologic system. So you know what I'm saying? It kind of, each chapters on our tests went hand in hand, and those tests would be about, none of my tests were more than 3 or 4 chapters except in health assessments. So health assessment was my 3rd class. Health assessments, basically the goal of that class is to learn to do a head to toe assessment. When you get in nursing school, that word assessment is going to make that big of a difference versus what a CNA can do and what an RN could do. And I don't really want to go into detail about that, but just know that assessment word is what's going to make the difference. So basically, as an RN, I should be able to assess you, assess your vitals, assess your whole, you as a whole person, because that's kind of the difference between a doctor and a nurse. A nurse, we take the holistic route, looking at everything as a patient, like all, like your work history, what's your family life at home, the actual disease, the disease process, what you're going through. But you know what I'm saying, doctors are mostly disease focused, and that was one of the things that made me want to be a nurse. But like I said, as far as health assessments, the goal is to be able to do a head to toe assessment. So at the end of the semester, everybody was stressing because that's what we had to be able to complete at the end of the semester, which is very challenging because you have to remember everything about each body system from head to toe. My 4th class was basic skills. Basic skills were literally just that, the skills that we learned in foundations of nursing, but it went into depth. So how to change a colostomy bag, how to test stool, how to, that's when we learned how to do the blood pressure, the temperature, vital signs, all kind of basic skills. And then student success in nursing was literally just that. We had it was one of our nursing electives, and we basically, how do I say it? Like, we just really it was more of like a one-on-one class with our teacher. We talked like, skills about how to be successful in the nursing school, study habits. We did medical terminology in there, which was definitely helpful to be able to recognize some words through their prefix and suffix. It was just, different kind of things. So overall, to say the least, I feel like I had a pretty easy workload this semester. So I'll start from the beginning to the end, like how I felt from August to November, because y'all know our semester was cut short because of COVID, because they didn't want us to be there through flu season at all. So August to November. So in August, I was trying to be cute, do videos, like my first day at nursing school, clinicals, and all of that. And it was easy to keep up then because we probably had one test a week, one, quiz, one thing here and there. But again, the semester definitely picked up a lot. Like, at some points, I had like 3 tests a week. I had a quiz in this class. I had to read for this class. I knew I was maybe gonna have a pop quiz in this class. So at points, it did get stressful, but I tried to take advantage of this semester because I knew this was as easy as it was gonna get. Like, from this point forward, it's gonna get hard. It's gonna be turned up. So one thing I would say I did that helped me be successful this semester, I recognized my flaws early. And when I say like early, like the second week of school, because I knew I didn't want to be caught left behind or off track, or what I'm saying. I just knew I wanted to be ahead of the game. So the second week of school, I think it was like either the second or it was the second week of school, because we started having tests that second, third week. I switched my study groups, and I feel like that's one thing people have to find and recognize early, that if you're going to study with a study group, it has to be effective. So shout out to my study group, because I wanted to be with people that were out of my comfort zone. Like, I wasn't used to them. I wasn't, I wasn't studying with my friends, and I found that studying with my friends didn't work because we'll get off track super fast, get to talk about something else super fast, and that was just something I knew I couldn't do. So I'm really trying to finesse Apple right now. I just freed up some space in my phone. But like I was saying, so one of my members in my study group did not have an iPhone. So we used to be on this app called House Party. So I could see every time they joined. They could see every time I joined. And so it was like, if I was taking a break tonight, but oh my God, I don't want to study. I see them on there, but basically accountability. Like, I had other people holding me accountable. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of something that I feel like you need if you're going to study with a study group. Sorry, I'm looking to make sure I look good. If you're going to study with a study group, make sure that's the right people you need to be studying with. And also figure out, how do you learn? So I use different sources. Like, I will watch videos on YouTube. I'll go take practice quizzes. And a lot of times our books had a little code that you could log into that book's website, I guess, and take like practice quizzes that go along with that book. So I would definitely say use your resources. Also, if you know what I mean, use your resources. So yeah, because there's millions of people that's been in nursing school. There's millions of people that have taken the same classes you take, and there's something out there for you. And I'm just gonna emphasize that and leave that at that. Yeah. Oh, so I know everybody's here to know like what grades I got. I finished this semester with 3 A's and 2 B's, which means I finished this semester with a 3.5, which is also very good for nursing school, because I got tangled up. Our curriculum, our grading scale is different. So a 93 to 100 is an A. 83 to that 93 or 84 is a B. Like, basically, it's harder to get an A. So I got an A in the basic skills, student success in nursing, and health assessment. And my B's were in foundations and pharmacology. So, and I only credit that to, like I said, that first test I kind of struggled. I don't think I did ever failed a test this semester. I probably got like a low C because I wasn't with my study group and I kind of didn't know. Like nursing school, the questions are different and they're gonna always tell you that. Like it's always a rationale and it's always like, to me, regular, I always can explain it to people that aren't in nursing school yet. Like, let's say for your other classes, you get a definition, right? And that definition is going to be on the test. With nursing school, you're going to get a definition, get some content, get whatever you got to grasp, and then they're going to switch it, and it's going to be a scenario, and then more than one answer could be right, and you're going to have to pick the best answer, but then you may not think how your teacher thinks. So and then the thing is, with nursing, you can do something totally different from how that nurse operates. So like, I may not operate like this, but I will have to think like how my teacher would think. Like what would she tell me in class? What did I do in lecture? Like, you know what I'm saying? What examples did she give in lecture? And also, I didn't get my iPad until my birthday. And my iPad really is what grounded me and what got me to focus, because, you know, on Zoom, it was different. And I would download my app, my PowerPoints on this app called Notability. Let me find it. It's right here. So I would download my things on Notability. Oh, this is what it looks like. And then you can see where I downloaded it, my PowerPoints in here, and you can put it in classes. And then you can write on your PowerPoints, write the examples your teacher said. And just basically, it helped me keep up and want to stay focused, because I'm like, I got my pen, my Apple Pen, I got this, my mama don't waste, and you know, it makes you want to focus. So that's kind of what I did. I found something that'll help for me, because it's so easy to get distracted while I'm just literally sitting in my room, sitting at my desk. So yeah, we can go and answer the questions. Okay, so one of the questions said, like I said, is it as challenging as everybody makes it seem? I don't think I always tell people, the content to me isn't hard. The actual, what we have to learn isn't hard. The hard part is, I'm trying to remember 3 chapters for this test. I'm trying to remember 3 chapters for this test in this class. I'm trying to remember 4. You know what I'm saying? It's just the amount of content that you have to master. And it's not like, okay, I just need to know it and remember it, because you can't really remember it. You have to be able to know it and apply it. So for me, that's what's challenging, is just taking in all this information. And my nose right now, I'm sorry y'all, in such a short time. A lot of people said the same thing, like, how did COVID affect your clinicals? How was it different with COVID? How did COVID affect nursing school this semester? That was 3 of the same questions. So like I said, of course, y'all know we were online. Like, all of my classes were online. I never went to none of my classes face to face, no lab, nothing, like, ever, which was new for also my professors too. So it was kind of difficult. Like, we'll log in and take the test and they wouldn't have it uploaded on Blackboard. It was and we would take our test on our computer on something called Lockdown Browser, and then we would be on Zoom on our phones, and that's how they would watch us. But I really don't think it made clinicals any different. Of course, you know, when we checked in, check your temperature, you have to sign in, say, did you have any symptoms, and then you wore a mask all day. And then some of me and my classmates had, like, if we had a patient with sepsis or a patient with pneumonia, you know, any type of airborne infections, we would have to wear N95. But I never took care of any COVID patients. None of my patients were COVID patients, just because they were totally on a separate floor, on a separate wing. Like, we didn't come in contact with them at all. So that's, I think for the most part, clinicals was different. And I also never said clinicals is associated with whatever class it's associated with. So this semester I only had 1 clinical, which was in foundations, because you got to think of it almost as like, what class am I going to have to practice these skills? So next semester, when I go into med surg and mental health, I'll have 2 clinicals next semester instead of just 1. You know, the workload is going to be different. And of course, those classes are not just 3 credit classes, they are 5 credit, because not only is it the lecture and the lab, and you have the clinical. So that's how COVID affected my semester. Most challenging course, I think it would be down to definitely foundations or pharmacology. But pharmacology is more upfront. Like, you can't change the name of the drugs. You can't try to misinterpret that with the scenarios. you're going to have these side effects, and it's either one of these drugs. So I would give it to foundations, but then again, pharmacology, remember all those drugs, all those prefixes and suffixes, that was hard as well. I got a lot of questions like, how did I adjust? Well, this one in particular said, did you feel like you still had an adjustment period even though you went straight into nursing school? So for me in particular, I always had my mindset, like, even if you go back and watch my videos, I'm like, okay, I'm a freshman. I know this is the only year I could play around. I'm like, okay, now I'm a sophomore. Like, this is really my last year of freedom. So I was already in the mindset that I had to, you know, snap back, snap into it. I couldn't go out as much. I couldn't hang with my friends as much, you know. So I already, you know, I really didn't think I needed an adjustment. But if you feel like you need some time to pick up your study habits, get to know yourself, be real, and be like, is this what you want to do? I would say pick up a minor. But I don't know, nursing, you won't know until you get there, you know what I'm saying? Because it's so, you ever heard people say you don't know what you would do unless you're in this situation? And that was one of those type of things that I had to deal with. I'm like, oh, I'm here now, so I gotta get, you know, I gotta get with it now. But it wasn't that big of an adjustment for me. How did you balance the workload of nursing school with your personal life? I just did it. I had to throw it in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, I couldn't go out as much and I couldn't do as much. But then again, your junior year, everybody gets in their majors. So no matter nursing, arts, architecture, like business, no matter what your major is, your junior year, everybody really gets to crack down. And it's like, real life is knocking on the door pretty soon. So I think all of me and my friends, everybody as a whole, kind of buckled down and we realized a lot of things. Oh, and so another good question was, what was your schedule like as far as testing, clinicals, and class? So I don't know if everybody else in nursing school is like this, but we had one class per day. So Monday, I had foundations. Tuesday, I had health assessments. Wednesday, I had a day off because I had clinical that Saturday. So either you had clinicals on Wednesday or clinicals on Saturday. Thursday was pharmacology and basic skills, and then Friday was student success. So just know, if I saw my teacher Monday, I wasn't going to see her again till next Monday. So basically, that's how nursing school is different from regular, like my prereqs, but it's also a blessing and a curse, because like sometimes if we had a holiday on Monday and then I had a test the next day, I would have to schedule some time in between, or we would have to pick up hours elsewhere because I wasn't going to see my teacher again before my test. And that was kind of sometimes a problem, sometimes a conflict. So whatever day you had class, that's the day you had a test. So not like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday and Thursday, like, you know, it is regular. We only saw our teacher once a day. And like I said, that's kind of a blessing and a curse, because I will only see you once a week. If I didn't like that class, I was dreading going to that class. I only had it once a week. But if I got a test in pharmacology, like I could have 4 and 5 tests a week because I only saw that teacher one time. So that's how that kind of affected it. How was managing both extracurriculars and nursing school? This semester, I give it some props, because I know it was definitely easy. I know it was definitely different. I know a lot of people's football seasons got canceled. Ours did. So I kind of took that as like I knew football season was going to be canceled. I knew a cheer, that was going to be a lot easier. So that was one of the reasons why I tried out again. I'm like, I'd be able to manage my time better. And like I said, this is my first semester. I knew this was as easy as it was going to get. They were going to try to transition us, and it was going to be a little bit easier. So I kind of took advantage of that. I still did the same things. I cheered. Y'all know I'm on court for the Kappas, so I'm on court. We still did events, we still things like that, but you know, it's a little bit easier to manage things online because I'm in my room. I don't have to go nowhere. I can study to the last minute for if it's before event or before practice. So it wasn't really that big of an adjustment, you know. It was just, if my study group was studying, they knew I was in practice. Or if my study group was studying and I need to be doing this test, studying for a test, I had an event. You know, it was the same thing. I definitely use my planner a lot more this year. So I definitely recommend getting a planner for everybody, only because it's impossible to remember all those tests. I wrote out all my things. I wish I would have had my planner or my calendar here with me, but I kind of showed that in my first video. about nursing school when I vlogged. I wrote all my tests in my planner, all my assignments beforehand, because when my teacher would try to switch it or say I unmute my mic and be like, no, Dr. So-and-so, you said, you know. So make sure you kind of stay ahead of the game with that. I'm trying to hurry because y'all know I don't want to run out of storage. Same questions. How did COVID affect it? How did you balance your personal life? Is it as hard as people make it seem? Was the information challenging? No. Oh, if you could run back this semester, what would you do differently? So if I could run back this semester, I would definitely take it more serious from the jump. I feel like at the beginning of the semester, I was kind of like, girl, you know, like, what can they do to us online? Bombard you with that same information. Like, that's the only thing I wish I would have taken more seriously. And I wish I would have had my iPad from the beginning, because it would have kept me. Well, I don't know. Oh, so I wish somebody called me. Y'all messed me up. I wish I would have just took it more seriously from the jump as far as like the material and skills. And I wish only thing I would do differently, if I could have control over, I wish we could have had at least our labs in person, because certain things I'm just not so comfortable with. But every time, I'm sorry, I keep burping, I don't know why. Every time I watch people videos like new grad nurses or anything like that, they're always like, you really learn everything your first year of working anyway, as far as skills wise. I just know it's gonna be different next year, because with med surg, that's when you learn like all the IVs and how to, you know, and injections, and you know, that's really hands-on. So yeah, overall I feel like I did good this semester. My GPA actually went up, because y'all know I was playing around when I took my prereq, so I think I'm at like a 3.4 now, almost a 3.5 again. So that was really one of the good things. Yeah, I say if you want to do nursing, definitely do it, because it was just, I was also so intrigued, like with the material, actually learning like all the statistics, like how really like at a disadvantage they already say like black people are, like health wise, like we already have high risk for blood pressure and diabetes, like all this stuff. Just learning about it firsthand, it is really crazy, and it is like really different. The different medication, it's just so interesting to me. So I feel like I've always been interested in the body and how it works, and now kind of understanding it on a different level, really like I be telling my brother, because he have asthma and bronchitis, I'm like, you need to be careful, because like for real, like, do you know what you like? Knowing what you really have going on also is good and bad, because it is kind of scary. Being that my older sister is in medical school, like she's in her first year of medical school, I'm in my first year of nursing school, we will call each other all the time, like, what you learning, what I'm learning, and kind of compare it. And talking to her about her curriculum, I kind of knew, and that kind of solidified that being a doctor wasn't for me, because at times I'm like, I could finish nursing school and I could still go to medical school and have a different kind of background, like who knows. But they just learn so differently. Nursing is definitely patient focused, and that was something that I love, something that attracted me to being a nurse. So that was something that I wanted to do, and I'm like, it's just so different actually going to clinicals and caring for my patients and being like, I don't know about y'all, like the same person I am on social media, the same person I am right now, talkative, running my mouth, that's how I am in real life. So I would chop it up with my patients. Like I can tell y'all stories about my patients at clinicals. Like I definitely, like, it makes me have a big heart. And so now I'm trying to think, like, what specialty do I want to go into? Because I know, like, even in clinicals, and we weren't really doing nothing, vitals, valves, feeding, like I said, because it was foundations, my heartstrings were still being pulled. Like, I used to call my mom and my daddy after every clinical, literally. Like, and I went on a Saturday morning. So you would think I'd be like, ugh, like, I was excited to go to clinical, pack my little lunch, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, I don't know. I had fun this semester. It was really great. It was definitely a learning experience, and I'm definitely excited to be doing this for the rest of my life. Like, that's one thing I wanted to really test myself on. Like, is this something you see yourself doing for the rest of your life, you know? And me and my mama were on the phone one time. Sorry, y'all, I'm just running my mouth now. And we were looking at, like, the different type of programs post-graduation. And since nurses are at a shortage and they're in a need, the terminal degrees, like master's and doctorate programs, are a lot shorter than other degrees because they want us. they need us. So, you know, so it's definitely broadened my horizon, like, because they have some bachelor's to DNP, like to doctorate programs, and like a bridge program where you can get your master's and your doctorate within like 2 or 3 years. And I'm like, who would it take? Like, I'm really considering going to get my doctorate, and that was something I've never considered in my life, just on how much I loved learning what I learned this semester. So I definitely say if this is something you want to do, keep it up, fight for it. And I'm not even at the end yet, and I'm elated, like excited. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else is there I want to say. I just want to say, don't forget your friends and don't forget your mental health, because I was that person in my study group. I'm like, y'all, we're not studying tomorrow. Like, we are doing great. Like, everybody in my study group, I think we all got A's and B's. Like, we did great. So I was definitely that one, like, y'all, I'm going to get my toes done tomorrow, because we couldn't get our nails done. I'm going to get my toes done tomorrow. I'm going to get something to eat tomorrow, you know. So I definitely say don't lose sight of that self-care and your friends. I definitely still went out with my friends. I know y'all saw that. I definitely still, you know, did what I wanted to do, because, you know, that's just me. I'm not going to, I made a vow that in high school, I used to stress myself out about school. I wasn't doing that no more. And like I said, I don't know if it was just because this content was a little bit easier to me. So I had that leeway room to do that. You got to know, like, if you can't go get your toes done, you need to be studying, don't do that. I know some of my classmates used to say they used to take their books with them wherever they went, like in the car, you know, and I just couldn't have, if I stress out, I do bad, and I'll mess around and take a week off and be behind. So definitely know yourself, know you. Like I said, this will be my last year cheering, because I know next semester it's already going to be turned up, because I'm going to have 2 clinicals, and they talking about us cheering for basketball. So I'm definitely going to enjoy my last year cheering and, you know, just have fun. And yeah, I can't believe it, y'all. Like, I'm about to be a senior. Like, this is what, my 5th time doing the end of semester recap. Like, y'all have literally been with me through everything, like just about everything. I don't fill y'all in about a lot, but I tell y'all most of it. But yeah, it was just, nursing school is, I don't know, to me it's gonna sound crazy, it's fun, girl. I got my stethoscope right here. I be checking my daddy blood pressure when I get home. It's just a lot of practice and repetition. You don't have to keep going over the material. You're gonna keep hearing yourself say it. Like I said, after you go over the PowerPoint, look at a video on YouTube, talk to your friends about it. But yeah, y'all, I love y'all. And if you don't know, I have started selling makeup brushes, because every time I go live, y'all ask me what makeup brushes I use. Every time I come on here, y'all ask me like what tools I use. So I decided to give y'all something that's affordable. I was thinking about having a sale or something, like an end of the year, you know, BOGO type of sale. So definitely hit me up if you're interested in that. You can DM me about makeup brushes, DM me about anything. I try to reply to people, but I feel like also y'all ask me questions that I oftentimes answer in my videos. So it's kind of like make me sad, because I'm like, y'all DM me, ask me questions, but y'all not even watching my videos. That make me sad. But yeah, comment down below if you would like to see an updated makeup routine. Hit me up about anything makeup brushes, nursing. Like I said, y'all, the same person I am on here is the same person that I am in person. So even if we go to school together, you see me, I feel like anybody that have seen me have spoke. Just speak. Yeah, I'm an open book pretty much. So yeah, I couldn't wait to do this video for y'all. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what next semester holds, because it'll definitely be picked up a lot. But I love y'all so much, and I thank y'all for everything, for always supporting me, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.